What are the functions of the deputy governor? The only one I know that is the function of the deputy governor is that he is deputy governor. He only carries out the instruction given by his boss, who is the governor. If the government does not give him instruction, the man remains docile.
So are you saying that the party, the platform, which is the party on which, of course, the governor and the deputy governor, rode on to become the #1 citizens of the state, do not have a say, in any of these matters, happening at the moment, you see, even at the federal level? You see, the party will sit down. Whenever the party passes a resolution, a discussion within the party, what the party does is that it transmits that to the appropriate authority who should look into it. If that particular resolution contravenes the constitution, it beholds the appropriate authority to tell them, you can't do this. For example, who acts as the chairman of the executive council? From what I saw today, they said the deputy governor does. He can preside. But you see, the function of the deputy governor, in order to manage the affairs of the state, must be legally conferred on him. You cannot immediately on your own say, oh, my boss is not around, I want to be acting governor. You can't do it. The House, within 21 days, if the governor does not transmit, we go and do it. Why did this come into fruition? Recall that President Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory was sick and he was unable to transmit power. And that became issue. And some persons within that government were going airwire. They were going, running almost amok, misbehaving. Then, under the leadership of Senator David Mark, they came with what we call the doctrine of necessity. That because the president was not able to transmit power, therefore, it becomes necessary, if we don't want Nigeria to derail, to make the vice president the acting president. It was when that happened that they now amended the constitution to put it legally. So the doctrine of necessity has now been codified that whenever the governor or the president is not around, is sick, or is indisposed, what should be done within 21 days? You don't need to discuss about it. Just like what we are seeing on the screen, I was about asking you that what could be the root cause of why the House seems not to want to, sort of officially give the deputy governor that acting capacity as the governor of the state. You can see a letter at some point, of course, where the deputy governor was accused of gross misconduct, in the state. Those are details of the letter. This letter is dated way back as the 20th of September this year. Now, let's look at the reason. What could be, they are from the same party. They campaigned, on the same platform, and they got the top job in the state. What could be the root cause why it appears like the House is sort of lackadaisical in officially saying, you know what, or even the governor himself is lackadaisical in saying, officially assume acting capacity as governor even while I'm away?
We need to address certain issues rather than jumping from one to the other. Now, the first issue to address is the issue of the letter you said they wrote, and which was to the fact that they allege, and note, they allege that the deputy governor did A, B, C, D. In the allegation, they must serve that allegation on the deputy governor. That is the law. Section 188 provides for that. That when they allege this, they must serve on the deputy governor. That letter was not served. The deputy governor was wise. He was well advised that if they had omitted this, they can't go further. Because in the case of Inokoju and Adeleke, my Lord Honorable Justice Nikki Toby was quite explicit. And he said, this procedure must be strictly followed. Omission of one renders the whole activity null and void. So the deputy governor went to court and got an order to stop them. So it's not enough to say we allege. If your allegation cannot be proved, the law is that he who alleges must prove. So if you allege and your allegation cannot be proved, the allegation is of no moment. It's of no use. So as at now, this allegation should be kept in dustbin because it has not been proven. And the matter is pending before the court. And the court has said all parties hold hands. Hold on. Recall that they wrote to the CJ and asked the CJ to set up a 7-man committee who will address the issue. The CJ of Ondo State, knowledgeable jurists, said an order of injunction is pending. Pending the time when you resolve that, I cannot disobey the court. Because the CJ himself was made a party to the particular case. So, because they were not able to go through that procedure, they already hamstrung. The last time they went to Court of Appeal, they said they wanted abridgment of time.
I mean, because we press...
Just a moment. Okay. I'm interested in contesting for the office of the governor. There's no... Hear this now clearly. Wherever you may leave the signature from, you will account for it. Because the man is not on ground to sign. Anything that you bring for which you put the stamp, by the time experts are brought on board, they will unearth all the illegality. I'm sure you would have heard that just a few weeks ago that it came out that 7.8 billion was spent on contingencies. Who approved it? The governor has the power to approve only 20 million. That is the minimum, the maximum he can approve.
All right.
The other one will be approved by the State Executive Council, who presided over the State Executive Council.
Dr. Anikome, we need to go. Thank you so much. I mean, I understand, of course, that this conversation is still ongoing. We'll, of course, keep our eyes on this particular ball, that's Ondo State. But Dr. Benson Anikome, a legal practitioner and former Ondo State Commissioner on the governing board of the NDDC, of course, thank you once again for making our time to be in the studio.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine.